I tell you what, it has been a week between, a lot of stuff going on at work, some stuff going on in the personal life, and a few ill-placed rain showers. I haven't gotten anything additional done on Pearl all week long. But I do have a few things that I do want to share with you. I did order something and got it in for the Equinox. I'm going to open that up for you. I've ordered something for Pearl that we're going to be working on in the not too distant future. And although that's going to be kind of not underneath her, it is going to be down, at least on this rear tire. Stick around here and I'll tell you all about it here on the MT and Me. Pearl's left rear tire and me have quite a history together. When we found Pearl on a dealer's lot up in Nebraska, she hadn't been moved in about a decade and a half. She was up to here in mud. You can still see the dirt line on the tire, literally buried up to the axle. That wasn't the problem. Whenever they went to move her, after we'd bought her and they were going to put her on a trailer and haul her down here to Arkansas, well, they went to move her and they discovered this tire didn't move. It was locked up solid. So they managed to drag her up on the trailer, drove her all the way down here, and then we had pretty much a fiasco dragging her off of the trailer. But we did get her off, and in one piece. But that kind of set me up for the very first order of business as far as working on Pearl. Find out what was wrong with this tire, why it wouldn't turn. The rest of them did. They were okay. So that started a whole series of adventuresome work for me. This is, probably can't tell on video, but this is a dually. There are two tires here. It's a Dana rear end with a floating axle. I knew nothing about any of this. I'd never worked on dualies, certainly never worked on a floating rear axle that had, you know, more lug nuts on it than I could imagine. So it was a whole new experience. Well, getting the tire off wasn't that much of a problem. It's kind of intuitive. So I got the tires off, but then I got down to the hub and had to figure out how to take it apart. And then the biggest problem after that was getting the brake drum off, because that's what was locked in place. It was locked absolutely solid, would not move. So we beat on it. We burned it, heated it up to try and get some action out of it. Did it make any difference? Nope. We even tried some shady engineering to pull it off. That really didn't work either, but it did loosen it, and then ultimately, as you can see, since I can turn the wheel, we did get it off. Brake shoe had twisted inside it, locked it firmly, and so it was very firmly stuck in place. I don't know how that happened, but it did. I told you all that story to tell you that I gutted the entire brake system on this wheel. There's nothing in there. Well, I say that. The cylinder is still in there. The tension setting system and all is still in there. But the brake shoes are out. The springs are out. I disconnected the parking brake and everything, and then we just put that drum back on so that, yeah, it spins freely now because there's nothing to touch it to lock it up. Now the other side, the passenger side rear wheel is all still intact. I haven't even been in it yet, but we will have to do that to look at those brakes too. So now I'm coming up to the point that since we're about to get our fuel system worked out on Pearl, once we rinse the gas tank, get it hooked up, I should be able to get the motor running. All right, that's what I'm hoping anyway. When I do that, I want to be able to move her. Well, it's not safe to move her without a rear brake. So this is going to have to be fixed, you know, before I could even think about driving Pearl around the block, which is probably going to be her first trip in a long time. So before we do that, I'm going to have to get these tires back off and rebuild that entire brake system, which is another thing I have never done. I managed to take it apart because I can tear stuff up really, really good. I've got a lot of practice in that. But putting it back together, sometimes that can be another thing. I have this week just ordered a rebuild kit for this particular Dodge tire and wheel system. Got the springs, got all the other stuff we need. Here again, I'm assuming that the cylinder is still good. I don't know if I'll have to replace it or not. Time will tell. I do have to get brake shoes. I haven't bought those yet, but I figure I'll get into it and then worry about that part. Okay, so we've still got to pick those up. But the springs and the accessories should be here this next week. There's really no rush because I'm not going to jump on this immediately, but I want to have them on hand so that whenever I do decide to sit down here, pull these tires off, and get back to work on this entire system, I've got what I need. Okay, so there's that. So we won't be working under Pearl with respect to this, but we will still be kind of working at ground level. Okay. I also shared with you last week, I believe, that we'd had some more issues with the Equinox, which of course is my main driver, and so I got to keep her running as well as try to get Pearl running. Had some overheating problems. Those have been semi-addressed, but we're not sure if it's completely taken care of yet or not. But one of the things we found out was that the radiator fan assembly was not working properly. Well, we've made some progress on that too. Stick around. I'll share that with you as well. Really nice day out here. Enjoying this beautiful afternoon. Before I go any further here, and there's just a few more things I want to share with you this week, and one of them is a special gift that I got from one of our special nomies. I mentioned David in Spot in the last couple of weeks because he's helped me a lot with the gas tank problems. In his comments, he's the one who suggested using a 9/16 socket, which was absolutely perfect to undo those gas tank straps. And in one of his comments, he mentioned to me that he says, look, next time I come through town, he lives about 40 miles from here now. He said, next time I come through town, I got a gift for you. I'll stop in and give it. Well, he stopped in and gave it to me this week, true to his word. And here it is. It is a set of socket adapters. And this is something that I can definitely use, something that I've needed in the past because I've either had, you know, a socket that wouldn't fit a wrench, or had a wrench and didn't have the right size socket for it, that would be 1/2 inch or 3/8 or something like that. And so this is a series of adapters, like 1/2 inch to 3/8 and 3/8 to 1/2 inch, and it's got like a 3/8 to 1/4, and this one I think is a 1/4 to 3/8, so that if you have an entire range of sockets, like I do from multiple kits, this can allow you to use almost any socket with almost any wrench. Now that's a pretty big convenience to have when you're digging through your toolbox to find something that fits. So thank you, David, man. This will be put to good use. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate all your support and advice in working on my beautiful Pearl here on the MT and me, okay? So thanks again. It's kind of like the title of last week's video, you know, the right tool for the right job. So this is all right, man. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, there's this. Told you I had something for the Equinox. Let me refresh you a little bit about the problem we were having with overheating. And we went to the mechanic to check things out, and they determined that, among other things, I had a radiator fan that wasn't working, okay? So that's what's in this box. At least I hope. Here we are. It's a brand new radiator fan assembly for my main ride over there. Now, as I think I mentioned last week, there are obviously 2 fans on this assembly. It actually, I think, goes like this, I believe, facing the forward of the car, so that the radiator would be like right here between you and me. And this fan is one that runs all the time, or most of the time, whenever the thermostat tells it to run, or the computer, the onboard computer. Anytime you start getting warm coolant, especially if you're in slow driving or stop and go driving or things like that, this is going to kick on in order to help keep your engine running cool. And it works on the Equinox right now. We've seen it running. We know it works. This one we could not get to turn on. If I understand correctly, this one should be tied in with the air conditioner compressor, so that anytime you flip on the air conditioning unit, which puts an added strain on the entire engine and operation, this fan would also kick on to help with cooling. It may kick on under other circumstances too. I'm not sure. But the point is, this one I don't think works at all currently on my Equinox. We could not get it to turn on. We tried turning the air conditioner on and off. We could hear the compressor kick on and off. This fan never budged. So hence I ordered this new assembly so that we can replace it and see how much of the cooling problem this might be. Not saying it's the entire thing, because I just don't know that at this point. There could still be an issue with a temperature sensor, or with the thermostat, or there could still be some sort of minor blockage somewhere in the cooling system. There's about a lot of ifs in there. But this is the first step. We'll be sure this assembly is working like it should, and then keep an eye on the temperature gauge and go from there, okay? Now, I haven't really delved into replacing this to know that if it's a job I want to tackle myself, or if it's something I want to carry to my mechanics. They have already said that if I wanted to get the part, they will put it in. They're really good about doing that. So, so I've got the part. Whether I put it in or they put it in, well, I guess we'll find out a little later on, okay? But important thing is we have it, and hopefully it will at least partly, if not completely, take care of my overheating problem in the Equinox, because I really would like to have some reliable transportation that I don't have to constantly be worried about the temperature gauge on. So with that out of the way, there is just one more thing I want to share with you this week, and it is a brief look at another local festival. This is another reason why I didn't get any work done on Pearl, because I got tied up with our annual Wiggins Cabin Festival here in Crosset. This is a place we have visited before here on the MT and Me. Happens every year on the first Saturday in October. This year is the 47th annual Wiggins Cabin Festival. 47 years. Haven't missed one except for, I think in 2020, COVID canceled just about everything, so we didn't have one then. But otherwise, for almost half a century, we've been celebrating this festival here in my hometown. And our local Chamber of Commerce Historical and Cultural Society teams up with the local Beta Sigma Phi sorority in putting this on every year. They do a fantastic job. We spent the day there broadcasting on my radio stations, and here is a little bit of what went on. So, there you have it. Another successful Wiggins Cabin Festival. It was an absolutely beautiful day, perfect for a fall festival here in the South. And as you could see, the people turned out and enjoyed themselves all day long. Plans are underway for number 48 next October. We got a lot of water to cross between now and then, so we'll see what happens. That's going to be it for this week, though. I know, like I said, didn't get anything done on Pearl this week, and for that I once again apologize. But we did make a little progress. We've got the brake kit coming, so we can get on that soon. And, of course, we got the fan assembly here for the Equinox. We'll see about getting it put on sometime in the next week or two as well. All right. I hope you have a wonderful week coming up. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. One click below can take care of that, and I would really appreciate it. And, of course, give me a thumbs up on this video. That helps YouTube know that you enjoyed it, and they'll recommend it to more people. I'll also appreciate that. I appreciate you, my nomies. I love each and every one of you. Thanks again for watching. Until next time around, I'm Russ. I'm going to take my fan and blow. We'll talk later.